Hey y'all, Melissa here with you today, and today we are kicking off a series that is all about sewing jeans. I'm going to be sharing all of my best tips and tricks throughout this series so that you can make your own jeans and not make mistakes that I've already made for you. Today we're going to be talking about patterns and fabric for making your jeans. Let's talk patterns. I'm only going to talk specifically about patterns that I have personally sewn. So the first time I made jeans, I used the named Jamie jeans pattern, and you can see an image of me wearing those jeans here. Thought it was a very well done pattern with some non-traditional jeans details. Ultimately, personally, I didn't love how the seam down the center front felt on my knees, so I haven't made those again. The next one I made was the Closet Core Ginger jeans, and these shorts were actually, they started out as jeans and then I cut them off and then they've been mended many times because they were old. But I did really like that pattern as well. There are some things about the ginger jeans pattern that just didn't sit perfectly on my body, and instead of trying to do fitting to make it fit better on my body, what I decided to do for my next pair, which you can see a picture of here, is I cloned a pair of jeans that I already had. And you can see this link here shows you how to clone your own jeans pattern. So I did that, and it's still like the fit was so close, but not quite. So the next thing I tried was that I realized I'd always had pretty good luck with Calvin Klein jeans at the store fitting me well. And so I went in search of this vintage Calvin Klein jeans pattern, and I sewed this up for myself. The first time I tried it, I actually sewed these shorts. This is a non-stretch jeans pattern. So I made myself the shorts. I liked the way they fit. I made a few fitting alterations, but they, like, by the time I got to these shorts, I really liked the fit. So I went ahead and I sewed up these jeans from the pattern. So I really liked this pair of jeans, but again, it's non-stretch. And for weight fluctuations and things like that, I find that I really prefer, and I would reach over and over for stretch jeans that were in my closet. And so I decided to try to use this pattern to make stretch jeans. And this was the first pair I did with those, and I also widened the leg here. And I love these. I found myself wearing these over and over again. They fit similarly to this pair because all I altered was the leg. I didn't alter the fit around the hips and through the crotch. So those are my patterns. Like I said, this one with the fitting alterations, this is my tried and true that I just keep going back to over and over to sew up again. But I do think it's worth it to try out some different jeans, try to do some fitting, and if it's a thing that you can fit on yourself, then it's worth it to do all those little tweaks to just be able to pull out the pieces and sew yourself a pair of jeans with a pattern that you know you like the fit of. And for more on fitting, check out this post with a video that's got a lot of common pants fitting issues and how to correct for them. Now that we've covered patterns, let's talk about fabric. So this I tend to keep in my stash. This is a pretty basic stretch denim, and this is from the Dallas Warehouse shopping district, and you can see in this post here all about how I make trips up there and buy fabric there. So this is one that I just tend to keep in my stash, and I actually used this type of fabric to make this pair, and we're going to talk about fading denim in a minute here. Another place to get denim is Mood. And I mentioned this pair of black stretch denim jeans. This stretch denim was from Mood. And they have a pretty decent selection of denim most of the time because they get a lot of dead stock fabric. So you can find a lot of the same denims that are used by other designers to make jeans. Another denim option that I used for these jeans, this is non-stretch denim. These were from LA Finch Fabrics. That's where I got this denim. She also carries a lot of dead stock, and there are both stretch and non-stretch denims. So that is a good option for jeans. So let's talk about this pair of jeans and how I got this very light faded denim. And in fact, if I open this up, you'll even notice like it's got kind of some of the whiskering already and the fading on the fly. This is because I literally went and purchased a pair of jeans. They were too big, and then I cut them, took all the seams apart, and made them into the jeans that I wanted with the fit I wanted. You can even see how there's a different colored top stitching on the belt loops than I used elsewhere on the jeans. That is because I just reused the belt loops off the original jeans without doing anything else to them. But especially visible on the pocket here, you can see the original dye markings from the original pair of jeans. And I just decided, okay, fine, this is just going to be a design feature on these jeans. The reason there is dye marking on this is because store-bought jeans generally that are faded this much are generally done that way after the jeans are made. So they're sewn up from a darker denim, and then one of several fading methods is applied to the jeans. So they might have been faded with lasers. They might have been stone washed, which stone washing is literally putting the jeans in the washing machine with pumice stones, and that can kind of make the denim softer, and it also fades it. Or they might have been faded with bleach. The thing that gives jeans the kind of characteristic signature blue color for blue jeans is indigo dye. Indigo dye fades very rapidly when exposed to bleach. The problem with this pair and with this pair is that these are cotton spandex. So I faded this myself. These were actually made like out of fabric like this. And I have a whole post with more details on fading here, but when you use bleach to fade things, you damage the spandex in the stretch spandex. And it also makes the spandex lose its recovery. So that's my biggest complaint with this pair of jeans. Since that's what was used, it has damaged the spandex, which means that I actually had to do a fitting alteration after the first time I wore these jeans because I noticed that by the end of the day, they were like stretched out. And that's what bleach does to spandex. It damages its ability to recover. So it may stretch still, but then it doesn't go back. So I was getting like a saggy butt by the end of the day. And that's because this fabric was faded with bleach. Probably eventually I will just make these into cutoffs. In fact, that's the reason these went from jeans to cutoffs, is because I feel like the sagginess is not as big a problem when you're wearing shorts as it becomes when you're wearing pants. But that is a word of caution for fading jeans or buying. Even I thought that if I bought jeans that were already made, that I wouldn't have that issue because I assumed wrongly that they would have been faded with like enzymes or stone washing or something that I couldn't easily do at home. But nope, they were just faded with bleach. So that was part one. Make sure that you come back next week for the next part. And in the meantime, check out this playlist for everything I've shared about sewing jeans.